the Republicans and the conservatives, I think, sort of had, they were all playing the same tune, but in a different note. And the YouTubers really, really were playing sort of like, I guess, I don't know, what would you call this? The bass? What's the truest, most purest of the notes?
Is it the melody?
I don't know. I'm not musically inclined.
No, it's really, I think it's the key that it's in is the truest.
Okay, right, exactly. Yes, the key. Yes. And this is the key that sets the tone for just about all of them. Here is Steven Crowder just yesterday talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination and her credentials.
Wow.
It's just like affirmative action. Let's say that Ketanji Brown, Miss Jackson. Let's say that this person becomes, because I don't want to say, man or woman, because she can't define it, so I wouldn't want a dead name.
No.
Oh, you're so funny.
Becomes a Supreme Court justice. It's like affirmative action. She can never know if it's because she was qualified. That's the issue here. You rob people of their win.
Smart.
She can never know if she was the right person for the job because former Vice President Joe Biden said it will be a black woman.
Oh my God, you're so fucking smart. Wow.
Good portion of the pool of talent.
Are you saying there was nobody else qualified? How about you just go with qualified? And if it turns out to be her, I am all for it.
Well, the problem is if you're qualified, they accuse you of being a gang rapist.
Well, that's true.
What is this? But it wouldn't.
Oh yeah, he was really qualified.
Him with Kavanaugh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just the grandstanding.
He just made that all about. He just said he did a little 5-man.
There's your boy. Wait a second, Nick DiPaolo's on there. Look,
that's Nick DiPaolo.
Now
I know you didn't see Nick DiPaolo. He has become Righterman from Wrightsville.
No, I know it. But let's just talk about before we get into Nick, and maybe we can listen to what Nick has to say about this. Now, let's just talk about whether Ketanji Brown Jackson can know whether she was deserving or qualified to sit on the Supreme Court. Let me just and she, I imagine, has access to Wikipedia, as does Crowder.
Yes.
She went to Harvard undergrad. She went to Harvard Law. She had 3 clerkships when she got out of school.
Not qualified.
With one with the Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. The number of people who have ever clerked for a Supreme Court justice, I imagine it's probably in the the hundreds, maybe could be low thousands in the entire country, in the history of the court.
History of
the court, in the 200 years that we've had this. 3 clerkships: Supreme Court, district judge, and a third judge. I mean, it doesn't matter really. And she served. She was in corporate law, in like a big law firms, a couple 2 or 3 years over the course of it. Sentencing. I mean, she's been a judge for over a decade at this point.
As opposed to Amy Coney Barrett, who was a judge for 0.5 seconds before getting nominated.
Amy Coney Barrett. By the way, Amy Coney went to
very hard to pronounce her name, isn't it?
Yes, it's very hard. A lot of people don't say it correctly on television.
You gotta call her Miss Conti. Miss Conti.
Yes, Miss Coney Barrett. But she takes her husband's name because that's what you do if you're a woman. She knows what a woman is. Amy Conti.
I mean, the competence part or the qualified part is very interesting, coming from a party, supporters of a party that, like, Trump just appointed like a whole score of Breitbart huffing judges himself.
Right.
But the idea that she can't possibly know whether she's qualified is unfair to her. And I wonder, what's also amazing to me is, I wonder if this has been a plague for white guys on the court for the decades and actually centuries, where essentially you were not eligible to be on the court unless you were white gay, because you weren't even allowed to go to law school.
Legacy admissions.
Okay, can I just add something to that? And very nice, Sam, very nice. And I love the ire. Listen, here's the deal. Here's the fucking deal. The Supreme Court should resemble the demographics of this fantastic country that we live in. The fact that there's never been a black woman She went to public school. Her parents are public servants. She's a public servant. Fucking Kavanaugh sitting there crying about his fucking friend. Got drunk in the. There is no comparison between Ketanji, Brown, Jackson. Perfect. She's perfect. She studied improv. She is a well-rounded.
That's a knock against her.
It is. She has more class. I mean, the fact that she had to sit there and listen to that fucking and John Kennedy. That. I hate that fucker.
Let's listen to a little bit more. I want to hear what Nick DiPaolo has to say because the three of us have a connection. Judy,
yes,
I don't know if you.
I love Nick. I love Nick, but he's turned into like I don't know what happened to him. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, just the grandstanding.
He just made that all about. He just said he did a little 5-man, one-act show, one-man play.
Yes,
for himself.
Yeah.
She was even getting irritated. Hey, this is my moment, bitch.
Yes, exactly.
That's the look she had on her face.
Yeah,
He's such a. Oh, he's a tool.
He
man.
never misses an opportunity to grandstand, and he screwed up Newark so bad that he decided to go to Congress.
Yes,
exactly. I don't understand. He robbed that city of millions and millions and millions of dollars in funding for education, just completely wasted it on corporate people coming in and advising from New York, ransacked the city, and then's like, I think I'll run for Congress. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Gerald, the correct term is jacked. He jacked the city.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, they were like approaching some sort of coherent point, maybe criticizing Cory Booker, and then he has to make some Crowder's only contribution is some racist comment.
So Cory Booker spends his time talking about the time that he's allotted, how this nomination, what this nomination means to him and people of color all over the world, and they spend their time asking her what to define a woman and talk about child porn, but not bring up Matt Getz or anyone like that, all their fucking friends, or Jeffrey Epstein or whatever, whoever. So
Denny Hastert.
And Jim Jordan, you're fucking
Jim Jordan.
Yeah. So
Mark Foley.
that's not grandstanding. That's not grandstanding. But Cory Booker taking this time to, whether or not you like Cory Booker, to talk about what an important moment this is, that's so different. And all these other people are so fucking great, aren't they? They took their time. They really did their research. Chuck Grassley, what the fuck is that? First of all, did you notice they'll ask her a question that they know she can't answer, and like they'll be like, "This is exactly what they do." You're disgusted. You're disgusted. So you're saying that you want more criminals out on the street? Is that what you're saying? And then she says, "Thank you, Senator." And he's just like this, not even listening to the fucking answer. She's talking, and he's like, "Okay, let's move on. Let's move on."
Let's talk
because
more
all
about
I
Nick
want to
DiPaolo.
do is jerk off here, yeah. But I fucking hate them.
Let's talk about Nick DiPaolo. Nick was on. You and I think, met when I cast you in B Cops.
Yes, I love that. Do we have a video of that ever?
Of course I have a video of it. So I have a video of it.
Did you play a cop?
Maybe.
No. UPS driver.
Julie doesn't remember.
I looked hot. I did. Yes, I looked hot in my brown uniform. Yes, I do. I remember we were outside.
Nick DiPaolo played a cop.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you guys were not in the same scene together. But
right.
This was in 1999. And I remember walking with Nick, and he had just moved back to New York. And this is what he said to me. He goes, and I had literally I had come from doing a bunch of sitcoms. I had done 3 or 4 different pilots with a Nick DiPaolo type, like a guy who's supposedly from like a very Italian. This is back like when ethnic was like, if you're Italian or if you're
right.
And so I had done with characters like Nick, I had a list of 4 other people to call for his part, but he was big. So I wanted someone like that. And he says to me, I said, "So you're moving back to New York?" And he goes, "Yeah." You can't get a job out in LA if you're a white guy.
What year was this? 99?
1999. I was like, are you kidding me? They can't find enough white comedians to front a show right now. Are you serious?
Tim Allen, Jeff Foxworthy, Ray Romano, Jerry Seinfeld. I mean,
those are the ones just that hit. Like
Right,
there was so many. They were just cranking them out. Like
Right.
So many white men with so many very attractive wives. That
Yes.
were gonna
Right,
be
Kevin
cast.
James. Hi, I weigh 700 pounds, but look at my wife.
That's what they
He
said
loves
about the
to
Jim
fuck me.
Belushi show
She's
too.
kidding.
Actually,
Huh?
the Jim Belushi show, they said that.
The Jim- yeah.
Courtney Thorne Smith.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what the writers called the scene where Jim Belushi climbed into bed with Courtney Thorne Smith. Even the writers were excited.
Right.
But so Nick has made it big.
He's really evolved.
Um,
He's not angry, which is good. And he has so much to be angry about,